Hey folks, Alamatic, the HotRodHippie here. So, coming to you from, well, my living room studio with my 2019 wrap-up live stream and Q&A. So, just making sure everything's going okay here. Throw a little message in the chat. Chat seems to be functional, so all right. With this is going to be a Q&A video as well as a 2019 wrap-up video where I'll go ahead and talk about like the number of videos I put up this year. I don't think I have that total actually, but like the number of subscribers we gained, the views, all that. And feel free to ask questions in the chat at any point. I'm monitoring that in a couple of different ways here. And yeah, I'm going to start off by answering a few questions people submitted. People submitted questions via Instagram, pretty much only Instagram really. I put out the messages days ago. So I'm going to jump right to those so anybody who's tuning in fresh will be able to see the answers to the Q&A videos right away. They don't have to watch an entire live stream on the on-demand function. So let me see if I can remember how to do that. So as I said, I put up a question thing on my Instagram stories as well as Instagram post and all that to see if anybody had questions for me so I could open up this video with those. Got a handful of responses. Diesel Punk Cummins, thank you for being the #1 question asker. Most of the other ones are ones I probably won't be able to answer. So we had Ander Wonder 3 who says, hi, HotRodHippie. Hello. Then we had, I have no idea how to pronounce that second one there, Baz of Gristle, Lambo Door. I don't really know how to answer that in a Q&A video. I've never done Lambo doors personally. Seen them on plenty of things, and my biggest problem with them is that I don't mind them, like cool, whatever, if that's the style you're going for. My biggest problem with them is generally that they just wear out over time because most of the kits that are made don't have pivot bushings and they're not really well designed. So I wouldn't do them for the most part, and if I did, I would over-design them, and then it would just be a whole thing I don't feel like dealing with. And none of my, most of my customers that come to me for builds are in their 70s, if not older, or somewhere in retirement age, so they are not into the Lambo door style. Oh, let's move to Angel Marquez 834. Tips on shaving 56 bumpers. I'm gonna just assume you're talking 56 Chevy bumpers in that regard. So let me see if I can jump over here and pull up a 56 Chevy, 1956 Chevy Bel Air bumpers. What do you mean can't be reached? Okay, that was weird. 1956 Chevy Bel Air bumpers. Pull up a picture of a 1956 Chevy Bel Air so I can give you a thought on that. Browser capture. Of course, I'm right in the way. See if I can move this. Nope. Not what I wanted to do. Window capture. Bloop. There we go. Okay. 1956 Chevy Bel Air bumpers. There are 3-piece design. Then this one has all the add-on stuff to them. Personally, the only thing I can really tell you in just a Q&A response to how to shave a 56 bumper or tips for doing it would be just slice off where the overlap section is and get them to fit as tight to each other as you can. Bevel the groove, bevel a groove onto the sections and tack it together, and then mock it up on the bumper. The best thing I can recommend with pretty much everything when we're talking about fabrication is check it on the vehicle you're going to be installing it on, in the situation you're going to be installing it over and over and over again. If I was shaving a 56 Chevy bumper, I would have that thing on and off the car probably 100 times before I fully welded and fully finished it, and like just to get it fitting exactly the way I want. And that's the best thing I can really tell you in this. Sooner or later, I'll absolutely do a video about that topic, but just not at this moment. Not really in the cards right now. Back to the questions and back to... Is anybody there in the chat? Want to drop me a message? I want to make sure that it is working okay, because it doesn't seem to be popping up on my end. Let me see, live chat. Oh, okay, sorry, I did miss one question there from Simp Al. what do I think of QA1 suspension versus other brands? I like their stuff. I don't think that it's mind-blowing or crazy. I really like that lately their suspension kits they've been putting together have been focusing on adjustability. That's one problem I have with a lot of these aftermarket suspension kits that are out there, like RideTech makes nice stuff, but they don't put a ton of adjustability into their 4-link brackets and their panhard bars. It's usually one end, so you have to unbolt it and turn it to adjust it. That's annoying. QA1 is much better about making it so it's like reverse thread on one side and standard thread on the other, so you can just loosen up jam nuts and turn your links. They're more of a racer design that can be adjustable. I like that about their stuff. Their coilovers, excellent. I use them on numerous builds. I really like them. RideTech uses Fox coilovers, which are really, really nice as well. QA1 will also really work with you. If you give them a call and you want custom valving, special valving for whatever application you're doing, you got your weight for your different weights with your springs, they'll work with you on that. So overall, I really like their stuff. It's not the most amazing, not the best, but for the money, I think it's pretty good stuff. Hi, D6 Spanky, and hello to my mom. So thank you for dropping messages in the chat. Oh, Felix, see you there as well. For some reason the chat on my big screen over here is not working. That's wonderful. Whatever. So let's just move on to the next question. Dieselpunk Cummins asked, will you ever come to any local meets and shows? He is actually local to me. He's only about, I want to say 30 minutes away from me, and he sends me all these local shows on Instagram that when they're coming up, or like the day of or a couple days before, and I have not made it to a single one yet, and I feel bad about that, but in the end of the day, I only have so much time in the day. So yes, I will make it out to one of those eventually, just haven't had the chance to do so yet. So, especially like there's one show he always tells me about that is it's on my way home from work, so I could stop on the way home from work, but I'm dirty, I'm smelly, and I just want to go home most of the time, so I just don't get a chance to go to it. Why do you live so far away from your shop? So for those folks who are unaware, I live an hour and 20-minute one way from the shop that I work at, my day job. It's a A-Class Act auto restoration in Southern Ringe, New Hampshire, and I live in Western Massachusetts. The reason for that is I moved here to this area in Western Massachusetts for a girl. It's why I moved here, and that didn't end up working out, but I got stuck with the apartment, and it's actually a really nice apartment for what it is, and it's really fair money-wise. And so to try to find something cheaper closer to work is almost next to impossible. I would just really downsize. This is a huge apartment for what I pay for it. And the other fact is I live in East Hampton, Massachusetts, which is just outside of Springfield, if anybody's familiar with Massachusetts. And then I work in Southern New Hampshire, which is just north of Worcester, Massachusetts. There is nothing between East Hampton and Worcester, anywhere that I would want to live. I like where I live, and moving closer would put me in the middle of nowhere with like not even grocery stores I could shop at and nothing to do on the weekend. Like, I like where I am. It's a very good central location to go to Boston, down to New York, up to work. I really wish I lived closer to work. It is a huge stressor, and it is a lot of time, and I put tons and tons of miles on my car, but at the moment it is what it is. As far as changing jobs, I'm happy where I'm at the moment. The shop is great. I have no issues with the folks I work with. It's overall a really good situation. The worst I can say for it is it's a really small shop, and it's far away from me. And, the lack of space is annoying, and how far I have to drive is annoying. That's it. So I haven't been, when I applied for that job, I wasn't able to find better jobs closer to me in Massachusetts. Just never been able to, and I'm not about to just jump and go to some shop because it's closer to me. So, all right. Let's move to the next question. I want to try and make this stream not be 2 hours like all of my streams seem to end up being. I'm aiming for an hour at the most. So let's just keep on moving here. Last question on this one that he asked was, what's your... I'm going to save that one for a second here. We'll come back to that. Moving back to second set of questions that were asked in the Q&A. Feel free to drop questions in the chat, by the way. I will get to those as I can. And these all came on my Instagram, HotRodHippie, as HotRodHippie with an IE, same as everywhere else I use it. Oh, Majestic Flights, nicely done, enjoyed your feed. That's spam. Harrison Hot Rods asked a handful of questions here. It's a buddy of mine. He asked almond, soy, or rice milk. I prefer almond milk personally. Soy is just slightest bit weird taste to me. Rice milk is too thin, and almond milk is just right. Oh, he also asked, do you ever do 4x4 stuff or motorcycles? I do 4x... When I was a teenager, I was big into 4x4s. That was my thing. I was a redneck in eastern Pennsylvania, and that was what we did, was go off-roading and mess around with our 4x4 trucks. My first car was a 1984 Chevrolet K5 Blazer. 4-speed manual with the granny gear in there, sit on... I think they were labeled as 33s, but they measured out at like 31 and a half, and they were cheapy tires, whatever. But so that was for my 4x4 world. I built rock crawling stuff and all that, and that was my goal. Never really finished many projects, as I've made a habit of doing when it comes to my personal projects. So I really like the 4x4 stuff. I'd love to get back to that, but I want to build myself a street vehicle before I do that. Motorcycle stuff. I've been into motorcycles in my adult life. I was never really in my teen years. My dad wasn't into motorcycles or anything like that. Snowmobiles were a huge thing for me. I'd have to say, if there's anything in this world I find the most enjoyable, it is snowmobiling. I love it, but it is wicked expensive for what it is. You pay a ton to go riding a few times a year. I mean, it's tens of thousands of dollars if you do it with like the modern snowmobile and renting a place. You can go when you want to, not have to pay for hotels, and it's a mess. No, it's not worth it. I'm probably exaggerating cost there, but still. But anyway, motorcycles, I'm going to get to my Triumph project. I'm pretty sure in my 2018 wrap-up video, I said I was going to be building my Triumph motorcycle, or maybe I was talking about the Roadster build I'm eventually going to do, and I haven't gotten to either one of those yet. So I need to start building the Triumph motorcycle. That will be happening soon. For 2020 on the HotRodHippie channel, we're going to have a build. It's going to be the Triumph motorcycle, and that will be happening. Cafe Racer style, Triumph Bonneville 750, so look out for that if you're interested. Got a question in the chat. Oh, you D6 Spanky, I'm planning on doing something with a 58 Edsel. What would you do with it? Me, I love the look of an Edsel. I really like that style. However much people picked on it back in the day, whatever, I like them. I had a customer when I used to sell tools who was like an Edsel fanatic. He had a handful of them, and I really liked those things. Me, personally, that car, that body style is just a little bigger than some of the other cars around that time. I would slam it on air ride and keep it pretty stock exterior otherwise. Like a single color, just simple, keep all the original trim, chrome. I would just lower it and make a really nice driver. Maybe a fuel injected motor or fuel inject whatever motor you put in it so it's really drivable. That's the simple way that I would go with it personally. I would keep it simple and make it a really nice driver. So pretty straightforward, but that's what I could picture for that. It'd make a nice, like, custom, people might want to say, but yeah. Felix F likes the Edsels as well. Cool. Felix F also asked, which car would you choose for yourself given unlimited option? What car would I pick? Well, I, like so many car people, have a laundry list of cars that I want to build. And the thing for me is personally, now this may be because I've just never been good about finishing projects, but personally, maybe just like I said, because I've never finished projects, I have a laundry list of things I want to build, and I don't care about, how do I put this? The build is far more enjoyable for me than the car itself. Like, I wouldn't buy a Lamborghini because I wouldn't drive it. I wouldn't buy a Ferrari because I wouldn't drive it. It's neat to have, it's neat to look at, but I wouldn't do it. Building something is far more interesting for me. The number one thing on my list that I want to build, and I think I talked about this in my 2020 video, was I want to build myself a street rod. But I want to hand build it. And especially with the YouTube channel here, like for you folks, I want to do a video series of from nothing at all to design, to fully building a frame, to fully building a body. I want to build a Model A inspired roadster project with a supercharged small block Chevy in it. Just a fun, simple, bare bones, no power steering, no air conditioning, probably not even heat, like just a aluminum tub roadster project. that is my number one thing I want to do. If I was to go out and buy something to build right now, my dad's got that 1965 Chevy C10 pickup truck, or GMC C10 pickup truck that was mine, and he got it off of me. I would get another one of those. I love those trucks. I really like those. So I would build one of those. Kick in. I'm so sorry about that, folks. I had a hiccup there. So sorry about that hiccup, folks. I had like a 1-minute hiccup there. And if you could kick up there, I'm sorry, folks, if you're seeing this at this point. I had a hiccup there where I lost somewhat of a connection. I think we're back now. Very, very sorry for that hiccup. I'm hoping it wasn't longer than I think it was. But Stream Health says it's excellent. Streaming's no fun. The internet in my area is not nearly as good of an internet as I need for what I do. It's an unfortunate problem with where I live. That is one thing I would absolutely change about this area. Okay, back to the questions in the chat. Sorry about that again, folks. Boost and Ho, sorry, I misread that. Boost and Ho, I was wondering, do you do more MIG welding or TIG welding of body panels? Do you see an advantage of one over the other? I almost exclusively TIG weld. Sorry about that. TIG weld when it comes to body panels. There's a huge advantage in my eyes. TIG welding works just significantly better. It's easier to control the heat input on the material. So as I'm welding, if I can see that it's starting to warp, I can dial back off of the pedal. I can reduce the heat input. Depending on the TIG welding machine I'm using, if I have pulse functionality, I can dial that up, and that can reduce the heat input and control it in a really nice way. Also with TIG welding, it's a softer weld, which means that I can actually hammer and dolly the weld itself very easily so that I can reshape the metal and get the distortion out of there and not have to deal with that like I would have to with a MIG weld. MIG welds are much more brittle and hard, and while you can hammer and dolly them, not nearly to the level you can with a MIG weld, with the TIG weld. With a TIG weld, if you do it right, you can actually hammer and dolly over top of the weld and get to a situation where you don't even have to grind the weld when you're done. It just smooths out and it flattens out into the panel and just turns into a nice thing. You just have to like finish sand it and you're done. That's not the easiest thing in the world to do. It takes time to learn. TIG welding itself is a more difficult process. I fully understand that, but I like the control that I have over the material and the weld far, far, far better with MIG welding. For me, I basically only MIG weld on chassis work. Like if I'm building suspension brackets and building a frame, I'll MIG weld things, and then spot welding. So if I'm drilling holes in like a panel, a floor pan or something, and spot welding it in place, then I'll use a MIG welder to do that usually. I might do a TIG sometimes if I want to go for a really certain look or really clean it up, but for the most part I don't worry about that on the builds that I'm doing, because most of the builds I'm aiming for a good driver, not necessarily a Riddler award winner or such. D6 Spanky's asking again, what do you do for daily work? Hot rods? If so, does it pay well? I'm considering going back to school for a street rod program. So I'm a car builder by day. That is what I do for a living. I would call myself an auto restorer and a custom car builder. I work at a shop in southern New Hampshire called A-Class Act Auto. If you're on Instagram and you don't follow me on there, my Instagram handle is right below me right now. It is HotRodHippie. And I post on there on a regular basis. Most of the stuff that I post on there is at my work. I'll tag the location of the shop, and that's the stuff that I'm doing at my day job. I primarily work on, lately it's more muscle car era than anything. Used to be more street rod stuff, but it's just the way the market is right now. People want hot rod muscle cars. So like a 58 Chevy Corvette is one of the current projects we're finishing up. 55 Chevy Bel Air has been my big project for like the last year or so. It's been a full restoration, full custom build. And so that's been the big one for a while now. And so yeah, I build cars for a daily basis. Does it pay well? I've been in this business for coming up on 15 years this year. And I've worked in auto repair. I was a tool salesman for a little while and a custom car builder for, you know, a chunk of it. That's what I've been doing for the past, I don't know how many years. And that's what I've always wanted to do. I love what I do for a living. I really, really, really enjoy it. You can't do it for the money. Some places I've seen job listings in like Florida or California where the cost of living is higher and there's more car scene that are paying pretty well. But at the end of the day, I know in my heart that if I had stuck in auto repair, in the dealerships like I used to be, or even in the general repair shops, I would be making more money right now than I am today, especially if I was killing flat rate. Granted, flat rate is such an up and down cycle, blah, blah, blah. I would be making more money doing that stuff. The other problem with this industry is, at least in my experience, nobody offers benefits. I don't have a 401k. I don't have health insurance. I don't have any of these things. And none of the shops I've worked for have offered it. And it's just the nature of the beast that it's just what we do is a luxury business. It's not a necessity. People don't need to build a street rod. They don't need to do this stuff. They need to fix their cars so they can go to work or go here or there. It is what it is. I do it because I love it, and I'm not saying that I make bad money by any stretch of the imagination. I pay my bills. I have a hobby, this stuff right here, but it helps me to create and to do. So I could be a lot worse off in life. But if I wanted to be doing it for the money, I would be back in the repair world, just the way it is. So, okay, let's get back to the Instagram questions here. Where was I at? Well, you know what? I'll address this one that I was kind of avoiding earlier. What's your least favorite part about YouTube and or the automotive industry? I will address the automotive industry one first. My least, what I least like about the automotive industry. I have a couple things. Things that I've legitimately thought about making videos about and also avoided making videos about because I try to keep my channel really focused and really broad spectrum. And, you know, I introduce, I don't know if you've noticed, and you almost certainly haven't, all of my videos are introed, hey folks. They're not introed, hey guys, they're hey folks. My demographic of women who watch my channel is, it's like 3% of my viewer base is female. But I like to keep it gender neutral because there are female car enthusiasts and metalworkers and fabricators, and I want them to feel completely welcome here. So, thing I like least about the auto industry is its openness. Its hate in general is probably the best way to put it, and I mean that to varying degrees. Like, that can be as simple as street rod people hate Hondas, and they hate stance cars, and they hate lifted pickup trucks, and brodozers, whatever you want to call those things, diesels, and I don't care for that. Like, I like cars. I drive a Prius daily because it's a good car to get me from point A to point B in my long drives. I put 80,000 miles on it in the last 2 years. Like, I drive a lot, so it's a good car for that. I don't care. It is what it is. I don't take it seriously. But then there's a lot of people who really look down on cars depending on what other people are doing. And I don't like that. I take ideas from the import world when I'm building street rods and muscle cars. And often when I do that kind of stuff, I bring in, like, you know, titanium fasteners that are colored, or the washers or smooth firewall stuff that those kind of folks do. The people who see that work are like, wow, that's really cool. I never thought about that. It's like, yeah, because you've never looked at a Honda in the past 20 years. That's what they've been doing. Like, you know, this stuff is out there. And on a more serious level, women in the industry, people of color in the industry, there's a lot of hate out there. There is. Like, I'm not saying where I work now. I'm not saying my current situation, but I have worked in a lot of places where racist things are thrown around on a regular basis, where a black guy comes in to apply for a job, and the moment he's out the door, his resume goes in the trash can, and that's that. And people start making jokes behind his back. And I hate that. I really, really hate that. In my mind, this industry is behind the times by a fair bit. I'm sure there are excellent places out there. I'm not blanket stating anybody who watches my videos or any of that stuff. This is something that I've really pained with talking about in the past. And here you go. YouTube. Less serious note. What do I dislike about YouTube? It's figuring it out. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Nobody has any idea what they're doing on this YouTube thing. I don't care if they have 10 million subscribers. Well, okay, that's different. But somebody with 1 million subscribers even, they'll tell you, like, oh, all you got to do is, and you'll do exactly what they tell you, and it doesn't do a darn thing for you. It's, the algorithm is black magic. You know, I'll upload a video that, like, I just, you know, I'll make a video. It'll be my most popular video of the year. and then I'll make a follow-up video of that, extending that exact same topic, and that video won't go anywhere, and people won't, and then people be like, in the first comments of the first one, they'll be like, oh, you should make more videos like this. So like, I've made 3 more like this, you're just not watching them. I don't know. I got 15,000 subscribers at this point, and most of my videos average, like, in a good week, 500 to 2,000 views in a week. And I understand that I watch YouTube all the time. Every single day I watch the YouTube channels that I follow. And I understand not everybody is that way, but it still leaves me scratching my head, like, where are those 15,000 people? Why are they not watching the videos I put up? I get that they're not gonna like everything I put up, but like, I would think at least half of them would click on the video. I don't know. YouTube is so confusing. D6 Spanky, you said you've had your, oh, I'm so sorry. I followed you, I've watched your videos, I forgot you're female. But yeah, there's one female viewer. I totally get that. I've seen, like I said with that racist thing before, I've seen the same thing with women. It's so stupid, it's so frustrating. Okay, moving on. Oh, I forget names, you know, like I see these names come and go all the time, and I forget to put names with faces, sorry. Okay, back to a couple more questions before we get into YouTube analytics nonsense and talk about the year in review. What build have you had the most trouble with? Oh, honestly, I've never had trouble. The most troublesome thing about building a car is the customer or the people you're working with, in my experience. Shops that I've worked at in the past have really limited my creative control on things, and I am a very creative person, and I want to have creative control. I understand my name is not on the shop. It is not my shop. So we can compromise. We can work within realms. I'm the one designing this or that. I don't want you telling me that I'm doing it wrong, whatever. That's the biggest problem I've had in builds is an owner of either the car or the shop telling me that I'm either doing something wrong or to do it this way, and that's that. And everybody is, of course, entitled... Oh, D6 Spanky, you're out of here. See ya. Thank you for coming around. Everybody's entitled to, you know, to see... They obviously, owners of cars have far more input on things than the actual owner of a shop might in realm of what's going to happen with the vehicle. But that's just in general. I can't name down, I don't want to name, well, I could, but I don't want to name down exact projects that I've had the most trouble with. But it's generally when somebody tells me either to cut corners or to do things that I know are either unsafe or just wrong in various ways. Like, it's just not going to work the way you think you're telling me to do this, and it'll be simple to get this end result. And I know for a fact that end result is not going to come out of that method of doing something. That's my biggest problem that I've had. Truck, yeah. Hey, HotRodHippie, do you want to use your truck to make money? I used to have a truck that made me money. Spam, so thank you very much for that. What was your favorite project this year? Well, the biggest project I've worked on this year, the majority of the time, has probably been that 55 Chevy Bel Air resto mod I've been doing. And despite headaches here and there, that has been a really fun project. And overall, I've been really happy with it. So I'm really happy with where it's going. I'm happy where it's going to get to. And that's probably been the most fun. I've worked on other projects throughout the year. It's not the only thing I've done. But yeah, this year, that's been my most fun project. Aside from video work, but there's too many video projects to talk about that I don't want to bog down with that. Though if I should think about like what my favorite video. I should have done that before this. What was my favorite video I made this year? I'm going to answer a question while I look for something here. So, Diesel Punk Cummins asked one more question. He asked, did you take Ray's metal shaping class, Ray Shalene? Yes, I have taken Ray Shalene's, I always do that. I have taken his metal shaping class, and I found it really informative. I generally, when people are asking me where they should go, what people they should go to learn, what classes they should take, what they should do, my first answer is just do it. just practice, practice, practice. My second answer is Ron Covell's classes, because he travels around the country and he's very good at getting people to understand basic concepts and really introduce people to those basics. And he has the advanced knowledge, and he has advanced courses and videos and things out there. But he generally keeps his classes a little more entry level so that folks can, even a professional can go and learn something, and then a basic person who's just not into this whole thing can go and take a class and still learn something. The third thing I usually recommend is Ray Shalene's class, because Ray is really good at teaching folks how to do things with simple tools. He can teach you how to do things with a benchtop English wheel and a sandbag, a hammer, and then build a whole car. And while I don't like doing it that way, it's totally doable. And he does it and gets great results and teaches great classes, and cool. Try and look here on my channel just to get a concept and think back what my favorite YouTube video I produced this year was. Well, you asked about, or Diesel Punk Cummins asked about what the frustration with YouTube, or what my least favorite thing about YouTube is. I'll pull this up here quick. Hey folks, Alan Manick, the Hot Rod Hippie here. This video is one that... this video, I just put it up yesterday. Which I understand I don't normally upload on Fridays, so that's a thing that's making it bog down a little bit. But this video, if I can get out of full screen view here, this video is currently trending at 184 views. For 24 hours of uptime, that is hot garbage. I think this is trending right now. Of the last 10 videos I've put up, it is number 9. The only thing that's behind it, I want to say, is the Supra video, which I expected to be a total flop, so I don't mind that. This one is the EVs of SEMA 2019 that I put up yesterday. I mean, there's a lot of interesting stuff in here. This is a 65 C10 pickup truck with electric drive. There's this Mustang. Mustang from the Ford folks. This thing is 900 horsepower. So I think there's really interesting stuff in there. I had fun making that video. And I knew it was going to be a little bit of a flop, but it's proving to be more of a flop than I thought it would be. So, is what it is. What else did I have fun with this year? Look back at my videos. It's doing okay at this point, but this one was still a bit of a flop. Is Carl Hacker's Mini, the rear-wheel drive Mini. I really liked doing this video. This is my first real serious car feature video, and I definitely want to do more of those in 2020. I hope folks want to see it. This has got 4.5K views right now. Not crazy for it being back in August, but still good. Slightly better than I might have expected. Not as good as I could have hoped for, whatever. This thing is, if you haven't watched this video, it is Cadillac Northstar V8 powered, rear-wheel drive, manual transmission, independent front and rear suspension in this thing. It's Corvette suspension. It's wide-bodied, full roll cage. This thing is a rocket ship. So much fun. It was fun to hang out with Carl all day, talking about the car that he built himself, and also filming this video and editing it. And I had so much fun with this video. I want to do more of these in 2020, and I hope you folks want to see them. So, back here. So yeah, all right. I danced around with Ray Shalene's class, those questions there. I think I've answered all the questions. And Felix missed that video. People miss videos. I get that. I miss videos from the YouTubers. I like to watch them. Like I said, I watch them on a daily basis. It happens. But yeah, that thing was neat. That guy built that in his garage, and it's a really fun, neat project. He was cool. I was glad to make that one. Happy to put that together. All right, I think we're halfway through the stream at this point, or well, a little over. Bob Woodhams, hi boss. You mentioned that midget electric conversion on that thing. Where would I look for parts or information? Information, I don't have a lot for you at the moment. Because I'm not, like I've said in the video and in comments, I haven't researched electric conversions enough myself to be as knowledgeable about it as I would like to be. But what I can point you to, in that video, the EV video, I mentioned the folks at EV West, and they have their website. They sell stuff. They not only do builds and build stuff, but they're actually also a full store. So they sell motors, they sell controllers, they sell wiring stuff, everything. They also have their own YouTube channel where they do informational stuff about electric conversions. I'm hoping after SEMA 2020 to head out there and visit them and check out their shop in California and learn a little bit more about them and about what they're doing. You know, they got dual motor conversions with a power glide, and they got all kinds of stuff going on here. So, you know, I would check them out, folks at EV West. So that is where I would point you to start thinking about that. Let's get into the analytics of YouTube. So YouTube in 2020, a basic overview of where I'm at now from where I was last year, I guess is what we're gonna say. At the beginning of last year, or the beginning of 2019, I came in with, I believe, somewhere like 8,500 subscribers. As of today, I'm at 15,500. So thank you so much to everybody who's come around and watched the videos. I really appreciate it. I appreciate having you folks here. You know, like, it means a lot to me. This is an excellent hobby. I really enjoy doing it, and I want to keep doing it for you folks and just do bigger and better stuff and more complex stuff. We'll talk about that after we get through a little bit of this. So channel growth for 2020, we gained 6.7 thousand subscribers. Some odd reason I had this one day in July, the end of July, so that's my birthday time. I got a spike there of like 200 some subscribers in one day, which is weird. Most of the days it's like a few, if not like on a good day, 50. So that was really cool to see. And so that was a good day, good view. Let's move to, what's this one? The top videos. Top videos of 2019. The number one video of 2019 was how to hammer forming. It was the very first hammer forming video that I put up, the most basic one, and it's been a continuously popular one. That's the one that I was saying earlier where, like, I've made 2 more hammer forming videos since then, and they're not even in this list. Like, they just don't chart as well as that first one did, and they cover different topics related to that. I don't know. It is what it is. Anyway, with those, how to hammer forming, metal shaping, how to bead rolling metal without warping. Obviously, teaching folks a basic topic. Everybody who bead rolls eventually deals with warpage of metal, so I try to teach folks in that. Both of those videos are from 2018, I'm pretty sure. They're not newer uploads. Also, number 3 is AN fitting basics. That one I'm fairly sure is a 2019 upload. That one came in at 36,925 views for the year. Excellent. That is a great one. Watch time, for the year, it pulled in 3,700 hours. So awesome. That was a fun one to do. And this is where, like, the first one were how-to videos. So I know people want more how-to videos. I hear you folks. I'm going to do more how-to videos. They are just the most time-intensive, space-intensive, materials-intensive, so they are the most expensive videos for me to produce. So doing them on a regular basis, I can't do it every week, unfortunately. So, and also, they're draining on me because I work full-time and I do this on the side just for fun. So it's hard to produce them on a regular basis, but I will be producing more, I promise. The AN fitting basics, those ones are a little easier for me to produce because those are explainer videos, teaching videos where I don't have to do a project as much. So I really like, I'm happy that that one's charted well. Building a custom fuel tank is number 4, back to a how-to video. That was also from 2018 when I was working on my dad's 65 C10 and built a fuel tank for it. In total, we pulled in, let me see if I have it here, yeah I do. In total, we pulled in 701,000 total views for 2019. Almost 3/4 of the way to 1 million views for 1 year. That is excellent. I'm really happy to see that. That's great growth. I'm happy to be continually growing. It's nice to have you folks here enjoying this content. I hope enjoying this content and checking it out with me. So thank you very much. And never be afraid to let me know in the comments of videos, by the way, like what I could be doing differently, what you want to see more of. I know there's a lot of you folks who are great commenters. I appreciate having you here. You give good constructive criticism from time to time. You give just good supportive comments. I appreciate that. And there are some negative comments once in a while, like really negative ones, but that's usually not the regular subscribers. And we will be doing something related around that in the very near future, so watch out for just a silly video that's coming down the pipe. And moving on from views. Oh, yeah, I mean, these videos are the ones that I think I see the most comments on, the ones that I thought would be good when I made them, so I'm really happy that they've charted well. But then for every one of these videos that I thought was going to do well is another one that just flopped. It is what it is. YouTube, there's just no secret sauce. There's no formula to this stuff. It's just, oh, that's the one I want to get to. Where is it here? Do I have it? I don't have it. I've got a couple of interesting statistics that I haven't gotten to put in here just yet for you folks. Let me see if I can pull them up. There's a couple of, YouTube does a handful of things as far as monitoring who watches my channel. So we've got sexuality, or not sexuality, sorry, gender. So we've got 94.2% male and then 5.8% female. So that's actually more than I said earlier, more female based than I said. I thought it was 3%. So cool, glad to have everybody who's here. Of course it's gonna be more male, I understand that. I find it interesting that my viewer base is non-existent 13 to 17. That's probably a YouTube thing I'm not going to go into. I would expect more teenagers, 18 to 24, but there's 9.9% of the total viewership, 25 to 34, so I'm just into that age group, 28.3%, so interesting. The biggest bulk of my viewership is right around my own similar millennial age group. So I'm not surprised by that. I definitely have a look that can turn off some of the older folks or younger folks may not be allowed to watch me from their parents. That's the whole thing. I'm fairly certain that there's a lot of kids that watch YouTube on their parents' accounts so that their age report's funky. And I also don't really know how they track age because I'm fairly certain I've never put my birthday into YouTube. Big Brother stuff, I don't know. And tapering on down into 65 plus. So that's one interesting statistic, but that was not the one that I was looking for. The one that I was looking for is one that drives me a little nuts. And that is, come on, can I find it here? Non-subscribers. There it is. Yeah. That is that one. The watch time from subscribers. No, I'm not calling subscribers out by this. I'm more interested in the not subscriber thing. 89% of my view time, the people watching my videos, comes from people who are not subscribed to my channel. Like when we're talking 50,000 hours of watch time in 1 year, that means that like 45,000 hours of the content that I produce that has been consumed by people is from people who aren't subscribed. I don't get that. I get that a lot of folks just like, people might not have a YouTube account to subscribe with. I get that. Or they might be watching on their phone that day. They just pull up HotRodHippie to watch something and they are subscribed, but it's not logged in. There's a lot with that. But I'm also sure a lot of those folks just don't subscribe. And this is a statistic that drives me nuts, especially since every video at the end I say, like, comment, and subscribe. Whatever. Is what it is. And there's also one more that kind of goes with that. I said at the end of the videos, I always say, like, comment, I say it different than that, of course, you folks probably know, but like, comment, and subscribe. Let's see if I can, watch time, retention, there it is. Viewer retention. This is a strange statistic for you folks, but basically, as it covers my face here, this here is how much of a video people watch. So most of my videos are between 6 to 10 to 12 minutes long, averaging somewhere between 6 to 10. And the average watch time is 4 minutes and 30 seconds on. This is across all videos. So if I post a 2-minute video, people could watch a full 2-minute video and that plays into this. If I make a 15-minute video and they only watch 2 minutes of it, that plays into this. 4 minutes is all that people watch on average. So a lot of people never hear me say like, comment, and subscribe because, yeah. How to Automotive, hi, nice to see you there. I mentioned earlier about the concept of maybe going to see the folks at EV West, because somebody's asking about EV stuff. How to Automotive was the one who mentioned where they are in relation to him. So like I said, I really think that's a good idea. I want to try that after SEMA. Let me check the chat here a little bit. Fire Crow's Workshop. Dude, for the past year, your channel is my favorite on YouTube. I understand that you're busy with a full-time YouTube and other things. Do you have plans to come over to the UK? Yes, I absolutely want to get over to the UK. I don't know if you follow Trev's blog. If anybody does, let me give him a shout out here. Anybody who's not familiar with Trev's blog, he gave me a shout out a little while ago, and it was really good boost for me. He sent some folks my way because he's got like 2 to 3 times as many subscribers as I do at this point. Let me pull this up here, browser capture. Trev's blog, he does similar stuff to me. He's been doing some builds, and he's tapered off lately because he's wrapping up builds that he was working on. But he does cool stuff, showing folks building things, teaching how-to stuff, and a slightly more vlog format. And so, yeah, I would really like to get over there, see him, and stop by, check his place out, talk to him, and do a tour of the UK. I've never been to the UK. I would love to get over there. I'd love to check out maybe I can arrange it around a big show or something. I would love to do that, do some video content around it. I don't know if I don't think it'll happen in 2020, maybe 2021. I don't know. At this point, I just can't quite know. Earlier, Felix F asked, where would you look for a very good or a very cool toggle switch? Cool toggle switch, I would probably go for maybe an aeronautic place. So somebody like a I'm blanking. Airplane tools. Who am I thinking of? Aircraft tool. Nope, not who I was thinking of. They make good tools. Aircraft spruce, that's who I was thinking of. Aircraft spruce might have some good ones. Toggle switch stuff, I don't know for sure. I've never bought that kind of stuff from them. I always buy tools from them. But I would imagine they probably do. And the other ones, the big electrical supply houses that I use are Moser or Mauser. Sorry. Do I mean Moser? No, I mean Mauser. Mauser Electric, Mauser.com. Aviation Salvage Yard. If you know where any of those are, that would be. I can even see like your local airport might have like a parts plane or something that they might sell some parts off of. Wouldn't be surprised by that. But Mauser Electronics, their website is extremely complex because they are an industry supplier. But I buy a lot of electrical stuff from them, as far as like the connectors I use and all that kind of stuff. They have all kinds of switches, and you got to know what you're looking for when you go to that place. But that's a pretty good one. So. It's the best that comes off the top of my head. Showtime. Did I miss anything else here? Joe Duquette, I'm guessing that's how you pronounce. Many people don't report their age accurately. They get it from Gmail. Yeah, that makes sense. All my Google stuff is connected because that's the world we live in. And yeah, that makes sense. I believe that. Especially, like, I'm sure a lot of those 18 to 20 somethings are probably like 13-year-olds. So I know if I was a 13-year-old, when I was a 13-year-old, I would have been watching my content. Like, I don't know. I keep it family friendly. I try to. I don't curse. If I do, I bleep it usually. Live stream, I don't think I've cursed yet. Like, it is what it is. And I think that is it for the chat. Where are we at here on stream time? Let me check. 50 minutes. Okay, we're under an hour, which was definitely part of what I was hoping to do today. So, I think I've covered all the analytics I wanted to. Let me just take a look on my end here to see if there's anything I missed. As far as 2020 is concerned, my goal for 2020 is absolutely, as I said earlier, for those folks who might not have been here, I want to build my Triumph motorcycle. I've got to get that thing done, built, and riding. I miss having a motorcycle. 1979 Triumph 750 Bonneville 2-cylinder. I'm going to build a cafe racer style. I was originally going to do a chopper style. I just decided Bonnevilles are just meant to be cafe racers, so it's going that way. And so that's that. And I'll be building a custom fuel tank. Probably not an oil tank because it's an oil in frame, and I think I'm going to stick with the original oil in frame design. Seat pan and cowl. Maybe a fender, though I like running without fenders. Depends on where You know, if Massachusetts requires me to run a fender, rebuild the motor, that kind of stuff. And did I cover all the analytics? I covered all the analytics I'm really worried about. The only other one, as far as analytics is concerned, that I didn't cover was, let me see here. The only analytic I didn't cover, for you folks, like you were asking in the Firecrow, you were asking about the UK. Let me just pop this up here quick as I cover my face. This is a demographic of where folks watch my videos. Clearly, YouTube or me in the United States is the bigger deal. I'm from America. I speak Eurocentric. Like, I get that. My measurements are in standard. I lately have been trying really hard to caption everything with metric, so you folks across the pond can keep up, or Canadians. So my biggest demographic is the United States. Second is Canada. Third, I think, is pretty much tied with Canada, is the UK. And then Australia is right there as well, followed up by Germany. I'm fairly certain that they report Germany kind of with some other Netherlands type countries, but I could be off on that. So, and I know that the Netherlands countries are not far behind, like Sweden and such. So no surprises there. It's where car culture is big. It's where metalworking is big. I'm an English speaking person. Makes sense. I would love to see those numbers grow across the board. So maybe if I make it over to the UK at some point and do some video stuff, maybe that'll help. I don't know. I'd like to get up to Canada as well, but then I'm worried about crossing the border with video equipment. They're going to think I'm working, and kind of, yeah, so I'm worried about that. But we'll figure that out as time goes on. All right. Cafe racer sounds like a cool idea. I hope it turns out to be a cool idea. So yeah, as I was saying, 2020, I want to do the cafe racer build. There's going to be a lot of how-to stuff in that, as far as I'm going to make a buck for the fuel tank. I'm going to have to build the fuel tank itself, TIG welding it, metal finishing it. I'd like, and I haven't done a project like that in a while. Just my job on a daily basis. I custom fabricate things all the time, but I don't custom fabricate like a fuel tank like that on a regular basis, because more often than not, custom making things doesn't make sense for my customers. It makes more sense for me to go ahead and purchase things and just use the purchased products and then save the time and money for other involved things. So I haven't done a project like that in a while. I would like to have a raw aluminum tank when I'm done. Maybe clear coat it. Like, I'd like it to be an aluminum tank, but it's gonna have to look right for me to do that. So we'll see. You know, if it doesn't look just right, it might have to get bodyworked and painted. So we'll see. But that's definitely coming in. That's definitely coming in 2020. You know, and what else? More how-to stuff. Like, I know I need to do more how-to stuff. I want to do more shop tour videos, but they are very unpopular as far as in the scheme of my content. So I'm still going to do them because I like them, but I'm going to dial back on them a slight bit in 2020 and replace those with car feature videos. Hopefully, I would like to do more car feature videos. Maybe get with a shop and show a project that they built. Get with a home, like Carl, I talked about his Mini Cooper earlier. That Mini, he built that in his garage. And, you know, like, he did an awesome job. Like, I'm not going to say for a split second that hey, folks, I'll admit, for him not being a metal shaper by day, Carl did an excellent job with this car. And I would love to feature people doing stuff like that more. And so I want to do that in 2020. He did a great job with that car. More people like that deserve the spotlight. So I want to bring that. More how-to stuff is the number one thing, though. Hopefully I can wrangle in some more brand deals this year. If there's anybody watching who has a company they want to sponsor some content, that really, really helps out when it comes to the how-to stuff, because that allows me to free up some time and money for other things. Just saying. Check the chat here, because I'm coming down the home stretch. How-to automotive, especially if you're a video rig. I know what you're talking about there. Yeah, if I go to Canada with the video, How-to Automotive has seen what I film with. I cannot take that to Canada. There's no saying that I'm just gonna go take some photographs downtown Toronto. No, it's quite clear that that's a fairly professional rig. If I go to Canada and I do some stuff, I'll just take my camera and keep it simple and just do some like vlog style stuff, checking out some places, if I ever do that, and keep it low key and just go visit friends and have a real reason to be there, because I have many friends that live in Toronto area and surrounding. So no. Joe, you said you like the shop tours. I love doing the shop tours. A lot of people have said that they like them for the exact reasons that I started doing the shop tours. I wanted to show a window into how other people do things, because we've all been there. If you have a shop space, like I've worked for people who built a new building and they're like, all right, let's lay this out. Doesn't matter how much time you spend planning and laying it out, and I've got the perfect layout. It's not going to be, you're like 6 months down the line, you're going to be like, I don't like where that welding table is. I don't like where that bandsaw is. Like, these things happen. It's just the way it is. And so I wanted the shop tour series to be that. I wanted to show folks how other people set their spaces up. So, and you know, maybe I should include that in the shop tours. When I do interviews for shop tours, maybe in the future I'll ask, what's the one thing you would change about your shop? That is an excellent thing to add into a shop tour video. So yeah, I want to do that. I have a couple shop tours that I want to film, and a couple that I know I don't have dates for, but that I know we're going to do in 2020. So, all right. So how long have I been up? It's got to be an hour now, right? 57 minutes and 36 seconds, including that 1 minute hiccup a while back in there where I don't know what the heck happened. My signal dropped out. So, all right. Any more questions for me in the comments, folks? I appreciate everybody who's come around and checked things out today and hung out and just seen, I don't know, seen the analytics, seen behind the scenes a little bit and talked with me and checked things out. Let's check a live subscriber count, actually. Can I do that? Not what I wanted. I think I'm at 15,005 as of right now. Oh, Creator Studio. I hate the YouTube. If anybody's a YouTuber, you're probably familiar. They've changed the YouTube stuff, like behind the scenes. And I hate the new one. I freaking hate it. Here's what I see when I look at my video stuff, the new layout. So you can see here the latest video, the EVs of SEMA. You can see that they give you these analytics, which the analytics are actually nice. I'm at 51% down from, and the 51% down on this at 201 views is actually, that's compared to the last 10 videos I've uploaded, this is like half as good in viewership. See you, folks. For those who are ducking out, Joe, you came in late. This video will be back up in a on-demand fashion, so if you want to see the earlier stuff, obviously you won't be able to interact with it, but you'll be able to see my answers to the Q&A stuff earlier in the video from the chat and from folks asking on Instagram and other places. I did that in the beginning of this video, so you might want to check out like the first 15 minutes of this video, or 20-30 minutes, if you're up for it, after it gets uploaded later today, or after the stream. But we're in here at 15,500, so 508 actually, just below my name there. You can right there. So cool. Oh, you can actually see how much money I'm making at the moment too. I didn't realize that analytic was there. Doesn't matter. I don't make anything. So yeah. All right, folks, I think that's going to wrap it up for the stream. Go ahead and throw any last minute questions if you've got them. I'll just do my little thing here on the way out. Patreon.com/HotRodHippie. That is my Patreon account. I have a few folks of you who support the channel. I greatly appreciate that. I really like to see that grow in 2020 because that, again, will allow me to do more travel for shop tour videos and car feature videos. It will allow me to do more in the realm of the how-to stuff so I can buy materials. That's all that money goes direct to those kinds of purposes and needs. So thank you very much to those who support. Like I said, all that money goes directly back into this. It's not just for me to like make more money. Bye from Canada. Bye again to anybody who's ducking out here. We still got a couple of you in. There's also merchandise below every video on YouTube. I have a little merch store there, sell some t-shirts, and this one here is one of the t-shirts that is available. They run a little small. This is a medium. It's a little bit small on me, and I wear mediums generally. Sorry about that. For some reason my microphone, it fell off my pants and then it shut off. Anyway, Well, as I was saying, merchandise is always below the videos, and I appreciate anybody who purchases it. Again, that money directly goes to supporting the channel and to helping to grow and produce more content. That's all there is. You know, I've got monthly expenses to producing these videos, the equipment I use, and all these things, and it really helps. I appreciate it. Anybody who does that stuff. And please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I showed earlier that only 89%, or no, I'm sorry, only 10% of people who watch my videos are actually subscribed to my videos. That is a mind-blowing statistic. Please subscribe to the channel. All right, folks, I think that is going to wrap it up for this one. Thank you for coming around. Like I said, like, share, comment, and subscribe. It really, really does help. And I will see you in the next video. I have one more SEMA 2019 video coming, the trucks of SEMA. I'm pretty sure that is it for the SEMA content. Then we will roll back into normal content. I've got a couple fun, like a vlog from LA. I went to the Peterson Museum, the Peterson Automotive Museum, where I checked out the Hollywood cars that were on display. I've got like a vlog I shot there that I'm going to put together. I'll try and make that a bonus video, so I'll have a regular video for you, and then you can just see that if anybody cares to see that. And then I've got a fun video that I don't want to talk about right now that'll be coming in the near future as well. We would be back to product reviews, content like I usually produce, how-to stuff. I've got a couple how-to ideas for the very, very near future, early 2020. Thank you so much for coming around. Folks, I need to go grab some lunch. Have yourself a good one.